Hello everyone, welcome to the Comic Gamer Movie Show. My name's Deshaun, and today I'm here to give you my thoughts on the newly announced earlier this week Hulu recently announced two new live action shows. Now one of them is I'm very, very excited for. If you've been following me, you know I'm a huge Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fan, and when they introduced Robbie Reyes as Ghost Rider, I was over the moon. Now, I wasn't too familiar with Robbie Reyes as Ghost Rider. I had seen he was introduced in recent comics, and he's kind of, in a way, at this current moment, taken the mantle of Ghost Rider. I mean, he's taken the mantle of Ghost Rider to a good point. Like, honestly, I think, Robbie Reyes right now, with Robbie Reyes and Johnny Blaze and Johnny Storm, I mean not Johnny Storm, Johnny Blaze, you have a real John Stewart slash Hal Jordan situation where both characters, where Hal is the first one, he is the first and he is the better Lantern and he's the more iconic Lantern, but John is right there with them, like to the point where if you replace John with Hal, and even in the Justice League animated series, no one really knew. Like, he was some people's Green Lanterns. Like, if you had replaced Hal with John, not too many people would have even been upset because he'd become that popular of a Green Lantern. That is the situation you're starting to get with the Ghost Riders, is because like I said, Robbie Reyes has become so popular in the comics, like honestly, to the point where when I googled Ghost Rider, most of it, when I went on Marvel Unlimited, which is where I read most of my comics, there's a list, and like they have all the comics. Marvel Unlimited is really that. It's unlimited comics. Like, it has all the comics. You have to pay like a monthly fee, and you have access to all the comics. But which is pretty goddamn handy. Like, literally, that's nuts. But when you go to Ghost Rider on the page, it's still mostly Johnny Blaze, because Johnny Blaze has been around since like 1970, like since the 1980s, since the 80s. So obviously it's still him, but there's other ones. There's Daniel Catch and other ones, but the second most looked at thing on there is Robbie Reyes. And Robbie Reyes is a bit different. And from the people who don't know Robbie Reyes, and from the people who don't know the comics. But first of all, before I get into the specifics, Hulu has announced a live action Ghost Rider series and a live action Hellstrom series. Now, Hellstrom is a totally different thing. Now, I am not too even as a hardcore Marvel fan, I am not too familiar with Hellstrom, because the mystical side of Marvel is one of the few sides of Marvel that I'm not totally I'm not deep into, well, not into, but it's just like I've heard of Hellstrom. All I know is he's the son of the devil. He has a complicated, basically he's one of Mephisto's, he's like Mephisto's bastard son. And he has all these powers and he's using it for good, but he has this dark vibe inside of him. Now the show is going differently, because in the comics it's really focused on, I think his name's Damian Hellstrom. It's really focused on him. It's really focused on Damian Hellstrom in the comics. He's really the main character. He has a sister, but I don't think she is special. But in the show, from the description, it's gonna be focused on these two siblings and how they're dealing with, and how their father's like this mysterious figure. Now, it's hard to tell if they're gonna go with the whole their father being Mephisto. I mean, they own the rights to the character. I mean, they could easily just make it the devil or make it Mephisto, but we'll see. But like the way they described it was like it's gonna be this interesting dynamic between these siblings. It's gonna probably have like a supernatural vibe. If you've ever seen the show Supernatural, it's probably gonna have a kind of that vibe to it, except if Sam and Dean were both siblings were born of a demonic lineage. And that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from the synopsis on that. So Hellstrom I can't really get into, because I don't have too much in depth on the character. Maybe once I've done seen some stuff, I can come to you and give you a little bit more of my thoughts on it. But as of right now, I can't really give you too much on Hellstrom. I'm looking forward to seeing it though, because I couldn't have gave you too much on the Guardians, and now, looking at the movie, I can go into detail about some of the Guardian stuff, deep cut Guardian stuff. But getting back to the topic at hand, well, not the topic, but the big one to me is the Ghost Rider series. First of all, they're bringing back Diego Luna. I don't think it's Diego Luna. They're bringing back the actor from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to portray the Ghost Rider. They're bringing back the actor, But it's kind of a weird description from what it's taking place. So it's not a spinoff from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because it has nothing to do with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's a singular thing. He's on his own. It is the same Ghost Rider from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So if you saw Ghost Rider on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which by the way, you should go check out. You know what? If you don't even like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I'm telling you right now, you have to go see that Ghost Rider bit. Just go on Netflix right now. Go to season 4 and just look through the whole Spirit of Vengeance part. It is fucking awesome. They did such an amazing job on a TV budget with the flaming skull and everything, and you felt terror when he showed up. When he showed up, shit was going down, and they handled it well. They had him use it well. They gave him the like in the comics. Sometimes Ghost Riders can use their abilities without having to go full on flaming skull, so they allowed him to do that a little bit. But yeah, man, like they did a great job, and that actor did a great job who played Robbie Reyes. So I'm excited. The Hell Charger, and I'm 90% sure that Hulu's gonna give him a little bit more of a budget for this. So I'm excited for this. And like a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people on the internet already angry that it's not gonna be Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider. But what I say to that is, if we're going off the same character, Johnny Blaze will show up because they did it a bit differently. In the comic books, Robbie gets his power. In the comic books, it's kind of established that there's more than one Spirit of Vengeance. The particular Spirit of Vengeance that went into Johnny Blaze was an Archangel. The Spirit of Vengeance that goes into Robbie is like his demonic, like his uncle's soul that became so twisted and demonic that it became this powerful Spirit of Vengeance and went into his body and turned him into a different type of Ghost Rider. But apparently, you can do that. Like, you can create, like, other ghosts, like if there's other spirits of vengeance. It's just the most powerful one is the one that's in Johnny Blaze because it's the fucking Archangel. So, but they changed it because in the show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., spoiler alerts for a season that came out about 2 years ago. In the show, you see Johnny Blaze. Johnny Blaze shows up. You don't see the actor, but they show the skull and everything, and you see a bike. He shows up when Robbie's dying, and he transfers over the rider into him and rides off. So in the show, it's a transference. So it's a transference kind of thing. So needless to say, so Johnny Blaze is still out there somewhere. He's still out there somewhere. He's still out there riding around somewhere. And needless to say, he's probably going to show back up. I would not be surprised. Just look out for this because the show's going to come out in 2020. These shows are coming out in 2020. So they're coming out next year. Look out for this. You will see the casting of whoever they got to play Johnny Blaze. Now, it would be fucking nuts if they got Nicolas Cage. They're not going to do that, but it would be fucking nuts. But there's some, but like, so for the people who are like pissed off, I'm not getting my Ghost Rider Johnny Blaze, calm it down. You know they're gonna do that story. They gotta do that story. You know they set him up. They teased him. They're gonna do Johnny Blaze. You're gonna see Johnny Blaze, but Robbie Reyes will be the main character of Ghost Rider. It's gonna be called Ghost Rider. So you might see other Ghost Riders because one of the coolest things about the Ghost Rider is that the Ghost Rider has been around for centuries. Like there's a Ghost Rider who was riding a fucking flaming like skull Willy Mammoth. There's a Ghost Rider riding a fucking tiger. There's a Ghost Rider riding a goddamn, there's like nuts shit, man. There's Ghost Rider riding a monster truck, like. Dude, the Ghost Rider has been around for so long that if anything that's remotely close to a vehicle has been used for a Ghost Rider in this weird, nuts, demonic kind of way. So, I would not be surprised if they hint to it. Like, I would love a flashback of the original Ghost Rider. Oh, that'd be fucking cool. So, you know what? I'm excited, man, because a lot of people have kind of hint, nudge to something. Marvel recently, I'd say in the last 4 years, created this supernatural group called the Midnight Suns. And I believe it's comprised of Ghost Rider, Blade, Hellstrom, Swamp Thing, a few other, not Swamp Thing, Man Thing. Is it Man Thing? I think it's Man Thing. And a few other more mystical people. And a lot of people are like, it's only a matter of time before they introduce Blade. And they're gonna, in my opinion, personal opinion, they're gonna see if these shows go good. And if these two shows go good, you will see Blade. You will see Blade by 2022. By 2022, you will see a Blade series on Hulu. And right now, Hulu is doing a lot of stuff for Marvel. And apparently Disney's trying to work out a deal to own 90% of Hulu. So right now, Hulu is where it's at. Like, if you were worried about Disney Plus not having any of the hardcore stuff, if you wondered, where would Daredevil go? Where would Jessica Jones go? Where would the Punisher go? Hulu. In a year from now, when you see the Punisher again, he will be on Hulu. And they're not going to dump him down or nothing. He's going to be on Hulu. They're going to transfer all that to Hulu. Daredevil to Hulu. Jessica Jones to Hulu. Because these are hot properties and they know people like it. So I'm telling you right now, Hulu is going to be where it's at for Marvel content, man. It is going to be where it's at. Honestly, Hulu, if Agent Carter ever gets revived, I don't know what Haley Atwell's doing right now, Hulu is going to be where it goes. So right now, man, if you ain't got Hulu, you might want to get it now. Well, honestly, if you don't got Hulu, you might want to wait a year because I'm 90% sure that once Disney's got 90% of Hulu, they're going to just bundle that shit together and they're going to be able to get like Disney Plus and Hulu for like $13. You can spend $13 a month. You got Disney Plus and Hulu. So now you have like, you thought you were limited. No, now the fucking floodgates are opened. So thank you for joining me in the Comic Game Movie Show. Are you excited for this Ghost Rider series? I am, because it's one of the things that everyone was pandering. Ghost Rider and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. got kind of the same treatment. Not as major, not as loud as John Bernthal's Punisher, when everyone was like, let's do this, let's do a series. Same thing's happening with Ghost Rider. I am excited for this, man. I'm excited for Marvel to deep dive into their darker kind of... Because, like, Marvel's kind of stayed away from the dark mystery. Because, like, Doctor Strange is kind of more of the light side of... Because in the comics, there's, like, a lighter side of magic. And then there's, like, the darker... Ghost Rider and Blade... Ghost players like Ghost Rider and Blade, like, they are on the darker side of magic. Like, that's the shit they deal with is, like, the bloody and just, like... you know, down in the dirty kind of magic where it's like, oh man, like people are dying by the droves. Like it's some Spawn shit with so I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Are you excited? Please comment below. Let me know. Are you excited for these two shows on Hulu? I wish I could tell you more about Hellstrom, but I don't know too much about Hellstrom. So thank you for joining me in the Comic Gaming News Show. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.